from Champaign, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good buddy Bruce Hall. Come on.
This is Bruce Hall. He is the bass player for the band REO Speedwagon.
Correct.
And tell us about your stuff.
My stuff. Well, this is my speaker setup. As you can see, it's made by a company called Trace Elliott. I use two 410 cabinets, that's these, and two 15 cabinets. The 410s are a smaller speaker, and they produced a tighter sound, but they don't get as much low definition as a bigger speaker. This is kind of like what if you had a car stereo and you hear the woofer, like that comes out of big speakers like 15s, like that. I mean, you could produce it out of 10s, but it's not as efficient as the 15s. And also, I have a tweeter. There's like what they call a little tweeter horn, which is for the really supersonic highs, but usually don't need to turn that up much with bass guitar because not a lot of supersonic highs happening. This is our wireless units, what we use for, instead of cords in between our guitars and our amplifiers, is we use these. And these are little receiving antennas, selector switches for different guitars. Like I have like 4 different basses that I can choose from. And this buttons choose, depending which one I have on, you just push the button and the receiver, turn the receiver and it picks it up. I could go down the block if I wanted to. This is my main amplifier. These are Trace Elliott GP12s. And I use this one most of the time. This is a backup. And then I have a backup to my backup.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, just in case, like on the road, if one of them breaks, then I have this one. I have another one to back up the one that's broken. And just in case I don't get this one back from repairs in time to get it back in, and something goes wrong with this one, then I got another one to back up the one that, so there's always 2.
Where are your bass? Where are they?
My bass?
Yeah. Let's go this way.
This is my main bass.
Okay.
This is my old bass that I grew up with, this bass.
Really?
Yeah, I played this bass before I was even in REO Speedwagon.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And she was retired for a while, and then I drug her out of the mothballs, and
Do you know how much Dave pays to get,
I know,
to get
he
his guitars
does.
to look this way?
I know. I took this down to the Fender shop where they customized this look. It's called Relic, but this isn't Relic. This is real.
It's real.
But
And this is a Fender?
it's a Fender jazz bass. I call it Butter. This is Butter. Butter bass. She's a beauty. I put on a new bridge and some active pickups, so active electronics, and that's about it. She's about the same as she was when she first came around.
And
Anyway,
that's your favorite one to play?
that's my favorite. This bass, my precision bass. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I use this in one song. And the reason I use this on one song is because it's tuned down a full step. It's tuned to the low string is a D.
And what song is that?
Time for Me to Fly.
So when you make the set list, are you conscious?
Oh, sure.
You're like, oh no, I have to change back.
Well, Time for Me to Fly, and it's usually always in the set. So this bass always has to be around for that one song. Then I just give it back.
And then you give it back.
This is one of my favorites because it was like, it's from the Fender Custom Shop. It's got a little custom shop emblem up here. And it's a replica of a 1952 precision bass. It's a beauty. Blondie, that's Blondie.
He's named all his basses.
Yep. And last but not least, this is my 5-string. And this is kind of like my most recent one because it is, I only play this on one song too.
Oh, really?
On Building the Bridge, one song. And
what differentiates the sound?
it has a low B. This is like, on most basses, on the 4-string bass, the lowest string is an E. And I have the E here too.
Okay.
There's the E string. But then on a 5-string, you have a low B, and it just rumbles. In fact, if you look at it, you see look how. So it really puts out a really, really low tone. But it's a beauty too.
And how old were you when you first started to play?
I was 13,
13?
and I'm over 13 now. During the early days of like when we were growing up, it seems like everyone I know, Neil, Dave, Brian, Kevin, and a lot of other musicians, we all were just mesmerized by the Beatles and being on the Ed Sullivan Show, and we all got to see this when we were like very impressionable.